And the webinar should go for about 20 minutes. I have got a lot to tell you, so I will try to not go on for too long. What we're going to look at, first of all, is categorizing your photos, choosing your theme and product type, adding your photos to the album, adding captions to your photos, and enhancing your pages. So let's get started. First of all, when you're categorizing your photos, this is the first thing you should do before you get started designing your book. It makes sense to sort your photos into folders that you want to, so that you know what you want to use. For a yearbook, I recommend creating a folder for the year that you're doing. So 2020, for example. And within that folder, you can create a folder for each month of the year. And then within those folders, you can create individual folders for each occasion. And so this slide here shows a good example of that. This is actually on a Mac computer, but we've got our folders 2013, 14, 15, etc. And then so within the 2020 folder, we've got months of the year. They're not all there, but that's some of them. And then say within each month, so November, you've got your Sydney trip, and you can make folders for each of your trips. Now I'll show you how you do this on a Windows PC as well, which is what I'm working on. And I've done this myself. So here's my file explorer, which everyone has on their computer. It's the little yellow manila folder if you're not sure. I've created in my pictures folder, I've created a couple of individual folders. I've just done 2019 and 2020. So within 2020, if I open that, I have individual folders for each month of the year. And the reason I put 01, 02, etc. before the month is so that they're actually, when the computer categorizes them, they're in order of month. If you just had January, February, etc., it does it in alphabetical order. So it will put April first and August, and then I'd get confused. So that numbering just helps keep them in the right order. So then within each month, so within January, if I open that, I've created folders again for each occasion. I've put the dates there. That just helps me know when they were. My husband takes a lot of photos, so I need to sort them out in some sort of order. And then if I have any random ones, I just pop them at the end. All right, so that's the most important thing. Sort out your photos first of all. Once you've done that, the next thing is let's make a book. So I'll open up the AlbumWorks editor, which hopefully you all have installed on your computer, but you can always ask us if you haven't. Let's start a new project, and we need to decide what we're going to be doing. With photo books, you've got a choice of two different types of binding. Lay flat binding is where the pages are bound to each other, so they can lie completely flat and you don't lose any content in the center of the spread. The pages are very thick though, they're 400 GSM the weight, and so they're almost like cardboard, so that you may or may not like that. Personally, I prefer to go with a classic photo book. And the main reason is that I like the high definition printing, and for me, the print quality is the most important. So if you want the best print quality, then classic books, high definition is what you want to go for. Unfortunately, we can't do lay flat books with high definition. And classic binding is your normal coffee table book with we're glued in the middle. So let's choose a classic book for now. Once you've done that, we have a lot of themes to choose from. There's about 16 themes in the editor. Each theme has different page styles and layouts to choose from. If you like to do your own layouts, the build your own theme is a good one to go for. You still have our templates at the bottom, but each of the pages itself is blank. The other theme that's quite good is the classic theme, which has the most number of page style templates there for you. It also has some classic ones like we have a heart-shaped collage that some people like, and there's a lot of multi-photo templates there. So if you want to put 12 photos on a page or whatever. We also have a theme that is specifically for what we're going to do today, and that's called A Year to Remember. So I'm going to do that this time just to show you an example of what you can do. And again, this one has different layouts. Let's just click next for now, and I'll talk about that in a minute with the different layouts. Once we choose our theme, the next thing is to choose the size of the book that you want. And all the ones at the top are standard definition. If I scroll down, I get to the high definition ones, and you can see they've got HD next to them. Size is up to you again. Personally, I like the 12 by 12 square photo cover, and the reason is that I have a lot of mixture of landscape and portrait photos, so it's easier to arrange them on a page. If you've got more landscape photos, you might do an 11 by 8.5 inch, or if you want a really large book, a 16 by 12 inch. It's up to you. But they're the choices. You can also choose from a material cover or a photo cover. If you've got a nice family photo that you might want to put on the cover that sort of represents the year, that's a great option with a photo cover. I'm going to do that. So we'll do a 12 by 12 square photo cover, high definition, and we'll click next. I'm not going to put my photos in for now because I'll show you a different way to do it. We'll click next. We'll just give it a name. We'll call it webinar 39. Yep, we've done 39. And the book's going to open. While it's thinking, so with this A Year to Remember theme, it's generally, the way this theme works is one side of the page has a large single spot for a photo, which is really great if you've got a hero photo or a really spectacular photo that you might want to put on the page. I'll show you this now. So for example, on the left, you've got space for one photo, and then on the page opposite you'll have a few smaller photo boxes, so you might want to put some just some snapshots that you've taken at the same event or whatever, but you can do whatever you like. I'll just show you a couple of things that I like to do with mine, and again, it's totally up to you. Let's start with page one. To start with in a yearbook, like to just have one photo on the page just to highlight, just to as an intro. And you don't have to do this, but here's let's go. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to my file explorer. I'm going to make this smaller on the page, just you can resize it just by double clicking on that top menu bar. And this way, what I can do is actually drag photos directly from File Explorer onto my pages. You don't have to do this. You can use the picture list on the left-hand side, but this is another way to do it, and it's quite easy to use, and I'll show you. So the first photo I have is a sunset, and I think this is a really nice introduction to the year, just nice and gentle. So all I have to do is drag it onto the page, and there it is. If I want to make it some wider or whatever, I can just click on these blue dots on the edges and drag them to the edges so it takes up the whole page. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger because I think some of it's been cropped off. And now it's not centered on the page, so if I right click on it and choose Align and Align Vertical Page Center, it'll put it in the center of the page for me. So that's just an intro page. Next, I'll go back to my photos, so you can just Alt-Tab to have your photos open at the same time. And let's go back to, I'm just going to show you, we had a trip to Mount Martha, so we'll give you some examples here. Now, for my left screen page, I might want to use a hero photo, really nice photo of the kids. I like this one, so I'm just going to drag it on there. Now that frame is not quite the right shape for this photo. So if I look down at my page styles down the bottom, I might choose a different one. This one might work better because it's a landscape photo. There we go. And I might actually bring it down a bit because we can make it a bit bigger. We'll align it with the photos on the right. See how there's a green line running across the bottom of the photo? That means it's aligned with the bottom of these photos on the right. So that's a nice big photo to highlight the event. On the right hand side, I've got some smaller photos. I might just put a few family shots. So it's as simple as dragging your photos onto these pages. My husband takes lots of sunsets, so let's throw one of those in, shall we? Put that in the middle there, and got plenty of photos here. I've got to throw one in of the dog because he's an important part of the family. And what else have we got? And there's one, just a random playing some ball on the beach sort of photo. So we've filled up that page quite nicely. You've got, it's nicely spaced and even. If you want to crop any of the photos, I can double click on the photo and just move it a bit to the right, make sure the dog's in there. And same with the sunset, I might want to move it up a bit higher. So there's lots of things you can do with that. But basically that's a nice even page. One thing you should also remember with your photos, it's a good idea to auto enhance them if you can. What you do is you click on a photo, and then on the right hand side of your screen you click on this second tab along the top and click on the auto enhance button. It's made that photo a little bit darker, a bit more contrasty. It's a good idea to do it with all your photos. Sometimes it will change them, sometimes it won't, but just keep that in mind. And then let's do one more. So I'll do one more page. We'll go back to my list of photos, and you might not have enough photos for a double page from one event. What you can do is, like for example, I've got 3 photos of the cricket, and I might want to mix them with, let's just drag one of these templates on. Actually, what you can do is you can delete everything on the page. So if you want to do your own design, you can just delete everything, click on a photo and press delete. Or if you want to delete more than one item, click on one photo, hold down Shift and click on each of the other photos and then delete, and it deletes all of them. So I've got a blank spread now. With this means I can do whatever I like on a page. Actually, and so we'll go back to my photos. I'll give you an example. So I want to use these cricket photos, those 3, and let's go back. And I've got this random photo of some artwork, not artwork, a school assignment one of my kids did. Well, I really want to have that available so that I can keep that for memories. And you could add your children's artwork as well. You can do all sorts of things, anything that's special. So I've got 4 photos. So let's find a page style that has 4 photos that works for me. Probably this, some of them are portraits, so I might use this one. So I just drag that on the page and it pops all the photos onto the page. I can crop them there as well if I want to. Another thing, I'll just show you again. We'll go back to the Mount Martha one. Our family does this silly thing each year where we take a photo of everyone in a line to see who's grown and who's shrunk. So I want to put those in on a page as well. So there's one, and then we do one that we're facing sideways. Now, this is just an example of how you can create your own page style. If you don't like what we've given you as templates, you can do it yourself. To highlight, I want to make these both bigger. So if I want to highlight both these photos, I click on one, hold down Shift and click on the other one. They're both highlighted. To make them bigger, I keep holding Shift so that it doesn't crop the photos, and I just drag one of the corners outwards until they're about the size I want. Okay, and now what we'll do, we'll just center them here. They're about centered there. I haven't done that very well. We'll just move them up the page a bit. And there I've just made myself a new page style. If I want to save that to use it again in the future, come down to the bottom where there's a cog and click Save Left Page as page style. We'll give it a name. We'll just say 2 pics and click OK. And you'll now see it's at the end of my picture list, so I can use that again in the future. All right, I think actually one more thing before I start showing you how to add captions. A really nice thing to do if you do have kids is to put in their school photos. So let's just create a new page. A good way to do it is to have a single photo of them on the left and maybe their class photo on the right. Going back to my photos, these are not at my kids, but I've just picked them from the internet just for privacy reasons. And so here's one. I'll drag that onto the left page and I'll drag the class photo onto the right page. And you can totally edit those and make them whatever size you want. But I've done that for all our yearbooks, and it's a great thing that they'll look back on and they know who's been in their class. Let's have a quick look at adding some text. So for my first page, each month I like to add the month that it is, and you can do whatever text you want. We just click on this Add Text Box button here. We'll pop a text box. Just drag it to the top wherever you want it, make it a bit bigger, and double click into it to edit. You might want to choose a font, a bit more exciting font than what we've got here, Arial. So I like Lucida Calligraphy. There's a heap of fonts you can choose from, anything that's on your computer, and we're going to make it nice and big, probably about, whoops, maybe bigger than that even. 40, yep. And we'll just type in January. And there's my heading for the page. Then on your next pages where you've got more photos, you might want to caption each photo, or you might just want to caption the whole event. So I can just click Add a Text Box again. I'll just pop it down here. It's going to move it up because it's not allowed to go near the border. And I can just write, whoops, Mount Martha. I can't spell. And then, yeah, again, you can change the font and the size. You could add a text box for each photo if you wish to. If you want to keep using that same font and style and size the whole way through the book, double click on the text box that you've already done and then right click on it, and you've got the option to use current style as default text style. And that will mean every time you add a text box, it will use the same font and size. Okay, so that's text. Lastly, I want to talk about how to enhance your page, make it more exciting. I mean, I really like simplicity, so a nice clean white page is great, looks good, very clear, but you might want to make it a bit more exciting. So some things you can do, you can add masks. So for example, you could add a mask to this photo here, if you like that, or different type of mask. If you don't like that, you just click on drag none back up there. You can also add backgrounds, and there's lots of different backgrounds to choose from. I prefer there are plain colors. If you click on these down here, you'll see the different options. There's plain colors, there's patterns. Patterns are good because they're nice and simple. Again, I like color, so you might just want to do some dots. Keep it simple. And you can, it's not really detracting from the photos. You don't want to detract from the photos. Again, if you change your mind, you can just go back and click none and drag that on, and it's gone. Frames are really great. So for instance, let's go to my page here. These photos are a bit boring on their own. I might want to add a frame to them. The ones that I quite like, there's some heart ones which are really cute. These ones here, if I add that to the page, it just makes it a bit more interesting. They're a bit close, so I'll just move that up. See, oh, can't see the bottom of the frame there. That's a nice one. The other one I quite like, just the simple drop shadows on them. These ones make it look like an old-fashioned photo. They look quite good. So you can pop them on your photos just by dragging them on. But, you know, there's a few options there. And then you've got scrapbook items down the bottom here. So there's lots and lots of scrapbook items to choose from. Again, I'm not mad on using heaps of these because I think I just want the photos to show off the work. But a couple that I like are in the love theme. You've got some hearts which are cute just to, you know, you might just want to drag them on there just to make it bit of fun, and you can make them bigger or smaller as well. So there's lots of different options to do there. The last thing which I didn't show you was the cover. It's always good to do the cover last once you've decided on what your well, yeah, you kind of get a feel for what photo might look good on the cover. But also if you add pages to your book, the spine size can change, so it's best to do the cover after you're finished. You can, what I think is just pick a nice hero photo. Let's go back to my photos, and I've actually picked out one for the cover. Where is it? Oops, sorry, going back too far. I think I just put it at the bottom. Just a nice family photo. And you can either take up the whole page, or you could just have a border around it. So I actually might change I can change the background color if I want. I can just have let's do it plain, and we'll just add a black border, background, sorry. And then I might add a border to this photo to make it a bit more interesting. So we'll click on this text, this box here, border, and I can add a white border. And I might just make it a bit thicker so you can see it. And that looks nice. I can add text to here. We'll just add a title. And we'll just say, let's make it Lucida Calligraphy again. I know I'm going fast, so hopefully you'll be able to replay this later on YouTube if you want to. And we'll just say 2020 family album, and I've just realized it's in black, which is not going to work because I've got a black cover, so we'll change that color to white, and we'll make our text box bigger so that it fits across the page. Yeah, you can get rid of that. If you don't want to see the non-printable items, you click on View, Hide Non-Printable Items, and now we can see it better there. And you can put 2 photos on the back or 1 photo, whatever you want. But that's just a rough idea how you can do a cover. There's lots of different ways. All right, I probably better stop. I could keep going all day. So that's all that I want to show you today. If you do have any questions, please send them through now. I'll do a quick recap of what we've talked about. If we just go back to my slideshow. So with a yearbook, it's a really good idea to sort your photos out first into folders for each month and event so you know what you're doing. Choose your theme and your product type. Just remember, keep it simple and easy. Add your photos to the album and add captions to your photos. And then if you want to enhance your pages, you've got plenty of backgrounds, masks, frames, and scrapbook items to make the pages look more exciting. All right, so that's all we've got today. If anyone has a question, I'm going to look at questions now, so feel free to send them through. All right, just a thank you from Glenda for saying that she's enjoyed our webinars and very helpful. Thank you, Glenda, for coming. Does anyone else have any questions? No, I will finish off then. So my usual speech at the end, which is just to remind you guys that you can call our customer service team if you need any help. We're here Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Melbourne time. Always happy to answer your questions. Our phone number is 1300 553 448. You can also reach us by email. The service@albumworks.com.au is the email address, or you can talk to us via live chat from our website.